My name is Martina Chapman. I'm an independent consultant in the area of media literacy, and I'm also the National Coordinator for Media Literacy Ireland. Practically all aspects of our lives have some kind of digital dimension. You know, the phones in our pockets are, that mean that we're not merely passive consumers. We're all potential content creators or distributors or promoters or, influencers. And digital media technology has facilitated that and opened up the public sphere and has provided us with incredible opportunities that we just couldn't have imagined even a decade ago. And we can tend to underestimate the impact that those opportunities have had on our lives. I mean, 18 months ago, can you imagine, or 2 years ago, can you imagine COVID lockdowns without digital technology, and just how different, had we had these lockdowns 10 years ago, how different it would have been. But all of this has also brought some kind of challenges as well. So there's challenges around digital exclusion. There's challenges around, how our content is selected for us sometimes, and understanding how our data might be used. And so really what we need in order to make the best of the opportunities and minimize any risks with those challenges, we need a set of skills. And this set of skills that's what media literacy is. It's having the skills and the confidence and the competence to make the best use of the media and digital technology that's out there now. A useful overview of the skills that are involved in media literacy, or the skills that are kind of part of media literacy, can be found in the media literacy policy of the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland. And in that policy, it kind of focuses on three competency areas. And the first area, and personally I think one of the most important areas, it's about understanding and critically evaluating content and services, and to do that in order to make informed choices and best manage media use. And then the second area of skills is around accessing and using content and services in a safe and a secure manner. And this is also about literally being able to navigate and find information and know where to go for information. And then the third category is one that sometimes people don't maybe associate with media literacy, but again, incredibly important. This is about creating and participating and doing that in a responsible and an ethical manner, to contribute to the creative and the cultural and democratic aspects of society as well. So it's a public awareness campaign that's encouraging people, the general public, encouraging them to stop, think, and check that the information that they're getting is accurate and reliable. And we deliberately use words like accurate and reliable rather than true, because truth can be a bit more subjective, but accurate and reliable and facts, we shouldn't be operating in a world of alternative facts. And we were overwhelmed by the amount of support that we got from MLI members. Every broadcaster in the country carried the TV or the radio ad. RTE had developed the TV and the radio ad for us, and made it available to every other partner. There was free ad credit provided by Facebook and Twitter and Google. There was the News Brands Ireland, and an awful lot of the papers across the country carried editorials and information about it, and everything pointed to. There was also a big online campaign as well, and every member of MLI had access to social media assets, and everything pointed to the bmediasmart.ie website. And on that website there is really simple and practical advice for people about how to stop, think, and check, and just little tips and hints about how to do the best you can to really engage with the content that you're reading or seeing or hearing. And this is about content on every platform. So it's not about TV or radio or online or newspapers. It's everything. It's wherever you find content, you should be able to apply these tips. When COVID hit in 2020, the MLI members just naturally, automatically said, okay, there's so much misinformation swirling around now about COVID. Maybe it's time we can use the Be Media Smart resources again and get the message out to the public. You know, this time to be media smart about the COVID information you're getting. And again, so early 2020, we had this massive push from MLI members, and it was wonderful. And then in 2021, early 2021, when we could see that there was going to be a lot of misinformation again around the vaccine, we thought there is an opportunity here again for members to use the resources, and this time to say, okay, be media smart about the information that you're getting around the COVID vaccine. So the Be Media Smart campaign is absolutely not encouraging people to take a vaccine or to not take a vaccine. It absolutely is encouraging people to make sure that the information that they're getting that's going to help them make an informed choice, to try and make sure that information is accurate and reliable. And as part of what we did this year, we developed, so there's hints and tips, as I say, on the website about how to make sure you're using the right kind of techniques to stop, think and check. But we also have hints and tips there for example, on what happens when it's a member of your family or a close friend that's spreading the misinformation, and how to talk to people about that. And then on the other thing that we do is we have a fact check section on the website. And this is where we gather on a weekly basis. We highlight some of the kind of the misinformation stories that have been going around, and we highlight where and how they've been debunked. So we have, unfortunately, it's a growing list of misinformation stories there, mostly related to COVID and to the vaccine. It's interesting the impact that the pandemic has had, because I think it has probably created an environment where, you know, people are uncertain. It's a time of uncertainty. People are desperate for answers when we don't really have answers. People are stuck at home. They've got more time on their hands. They're spending more time online. You know, all of these factors kind of contribute to an environment where it's much easier for misinformation to spread and to spread quickly. And I mean, Christine Bowen from the Journal, because the Journal do a fact-checking service as well, and she had pointed out that up until the beginning of the pandemic, that Ireland didn't really have a huge issue with misinformation, but at the start of the pandemic, and we all saw the WhatsApp messages that were circulating that the army is going to be out on the street, and it's you know, maybe part of it was because we weren't used to misinformation spreading as quickly as it did. But as I say, I think the conditions were ripe for people to kind of get sucked into not just being exposed to misinformation, but to also becoming part of the system then that promotes it or that distributes it as well. The pandemic has certainly drawn our attention to the issue of misinformation in Ireland in a way that I think we maybe weren't paying attention to it previously. So it has kind of focused, it's become a more apparent issue. And so on one hand, yes, this is a good time to kind of try and address it, but you know, it's a very, very complex issue. And just because somebody knows how to, you know, people form opinions for very diverse and very complex reasons, and often very personal reasons. And once you have a certain view of the world, you're automatically going to go and look for views that reinforce your views. So, you know, countering disinformation is not an easy process. There is absolutely no silver bullet. If there was, we'd be out the other side of it already, because there are other countries who've been struggling with this for a lot longer than Ireland has. I think maybe a positive thing out of it is that we we can learn from other countries. And there are a huge amount of there's a lot of very bright people working on some very clever projects and initiatives now to try and help us develop the skills and better manage the issue of misinformation. And I say better manage it because I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon.